Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot with a general reading for Friday, October 7th, 2025. Today I'm using the Seance Circle Spread that was created by @RumorHaven. Now, she did this as a VR in which you use a different deck for each one of the cards, and I did it twice that way. This time I'm just using it as a spread with my focus deck for this month, the Forager's Daughter Tarot. So I've already shuffled the deck. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Figure out if I have a little more room. I think that's about it. Okay, so I'll put that underneath because that gets pulled up later. So we begin with the 5 of Swords as our central focus. This is being called the crystal ball in this spread. And we indeed do have balls here, balls of fruit of some kind that are being eaten by wasps, feeding the wasps. 5 of Swords is generally, it is conflict, it is dissension, but I would call this deterioration because it's not usually about an actual battle. It can often be about play. And in this case, it's work, it's sustenance for them. So even though they're tearing things apart, it has a purpose in much the same way that practice or play practice might have, sports practice might have, it has a purpose. Even though it's a type of conflict, it's measured and it's contained. Number 2 is the candle, the shadows and light around this. Oh, the Hierophant. Well, that can be both shadows and light. The shadow of this deck would be being hidebound to traditional rules, not being free enough to experiment. But the light of this is resting in higher learning, understanding that growth comes from knowing the classical structure, and that then you can spring forth from that. 3 is the object that you bring with you. The Queen of Swords. Okay, so we have swords and swords. The Queen of Swords, interesting. It is it's not exactly a Black Widow there. But the Queen of Swords historically is a widow, and which has, we often forget today that widows were in a rare position of assuming that they got control of their husband's money. They were in a rare position of having a self-determination that no other women in the society had in the days when these were created. So they had finances and self-determination, and which they often lost if they married again. So it's this rare time of yes, they have more responsibility, and that is the double-edged sword of it. But this is a woman who's more mature and able to make the decisions, even if they're cutting decisions, She's able to make them. So that is the object that you're bringing with you into the seance. This is a seance spread. So that object is more about, perhaps it's the knife, but you could say it's the object is that attitude, that independence of attitude, and a kind of an unrelenting aspect to it. 4 is the spirits, or who you might be invoking. The 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles. Balance is the major theme here, represented in this picture, although it's also the growth that you can have while entertaining the balance. I've often said that to me, the 2 of Pentacles is a decision that nobody really loses. It might be a less consequential decision. It doesn't mean that the balance is any less difficult, but the consequences are not going to be quite as large because it's happening in this material plane, and you're not risking either one. You're still going to have them. They just may not be in the same position. Five is the channeling, the type of instrument that you're going to use. So the 3 of Wands. Okay, so we have Wands, Pentacles, and Swords so far. And what you're going to be using is jumping ahead. You're going to be going forth, flying ahead, because you have your beacon ahead of you. So whatever these aspects are, the deterioration and this, you have a beacon ahead of you that's going to light your way, and you're really ready to go. Number 6, the spirit photography. The 3 of Pentacles. So you're ready to go, and you have people to work with. So the spirit here is conjoining with the channeling. And so you're balancing things, and you're ready to move forward, and you also have more of this earth, more of this material solidity backing you up as you go forth. It's just giving further proof to your readiness to fly ahead. 7 is the materialization. The Queen of Wands, more wands. So here you have the materialization of this. You have the Queen of Wands, this woman of, again, highly individual. You have the 2 highly individual queens here. But this is more of the creative, kind of loopy or wacky queen individual. Here she is kind of flying above whatever decay is happening in this time of year, the end of the palm fronds, and this moth is flying above, which is exactly what you need to do here. So this is the culmination of that. So the spirit is encouraging you there. The poltergeist, or a trickster in the mix, is one of the new majors in this deck, and it's called Bond, and it's about that family pack, and it has that supportiveness of the family pack, which could be this too. Interesting that these are kind of reflecting each other here. Could be this too. These people that are all ready, they each know their job. But also remember, in a family pack, you can have infighting and jostling for position. And that may be reflected, that may be what's being reflected here, is that even though here we have 3 working together, but are they actually working together to support each other, or are they each trying to prove themselves? Here we have 3 working together. Nine is the collective hallucination. And this is the 9 of more wands. 9 of wands. I'm going to put these side by side. So the collective hallucination is the culmination here. This could be here, here, even here, and here, is that the 9 of wands, which has been coming up a lot for me lately, and for us lately in my general readings, is that you're feeling overburdened. You're just not sure you can make it to the completion. You've already had so much to deal with that you just feel like you can't get there. And the thing is that the 9 of wands is a reminder that you're almost there. You can make it. You just need to continue putting forth that effort. And the closing and clearing, and I'll say the action, is the Empress. So that gives you a very strong yes for what you're working on here. Even though you have some elements of contention, what project doesn't have some elements of contention? But that doesn't mean you can't come to a fruitful ending. And that is one of the major words that describes the Empress, is a fruitfulness. And she is looking directly back at this main topic of this disagreement. And even this, she's looking straight over here. They're kind of looking at each other. She's like, yes, you have a lot to balance. Yes, you're going to be feeling overwhelmed. There may be some dissension, but your highest, the fact that you know the rules and you know how to do this, but you also know enough to be very creative while you do it. You can cut through the unnecessary things. And so then you can balance out whatever difficulties may arise. And you do have a group of people that are working together to create it, so that ultimately, whatever you're working on today should blossom forth. I'm going to add an oracle card from the Fairy Tale Oracle to go with this. And this is Castle. Again, this is a new deck to me. I would assume Castle is a very good card. We've got lots of bright flowers here. Fortitude, ascendancy, and endings, which is exactly what we have here in this Empress card. The hero's path leads to the palace gates. Their tale ends with a crown and a throne. The castle is the kingdom's center, a home that holds the whole world, a solid fortress protected from siege by moats and phalanxes of sworn knights standing guard. Build buttresses and strong ramparts, but know when to let down the drawbridge. That's just an additional thought added to this, which is a great, all very positive for the day. I certainly hope your day, whatever smaller glitches show up in the day, I hope this gives you more fortitude, the fortitude, to work through any issues that come up and balancing issues, to understand that you have this under control and you're ready to go for a positive outcome. This is Cara from Cara Tarot. Thank you.